Ted Bundy, the dark story of a cold-blooded killer. In 1970s America, the disappearance of young women on college campuses was not unheard of, but none vanished without a trace or a sound. That was until a charming, intelligent, and polite man named Ted Bundy cast his shadow across the country, spreading fear wherever he went.
The two-faced monster.
Ted Bundy was known as a charismatic and successful man in society. He was studying law, had promising career prospects, and was regarded as a courteous person by those around him. However, beneath this polite façade lay a savage monster. Bundy's killing spree would soon reveal his true nature to the world. The first victims. In early 1974, young women began disappearing in Washington and Oregon. Witnesses reported that the victims were last seen speaking to a polite man who appeared to need help. His arm was in a sling, and he was asking for assistance. The young women who tried to help him were never seen again. Ted Bundy's method of luring women this way was one of his most ruthless tactics. One of his first victims was 21-year-old Linda and Healy. A university student, Linda was missing from her bed one morning, leaving her friends in a panic. There were bloodstains in her room, but no sign of her. Her family and friends searched for her, but she never returned.
Death campuses.
The number of victims was rising rapidly. Within months, young women from the University of Washington and nearby colleges began disappearing one by one. Each time, the same method was used. Bundy would either fake an injury or pose as an authority figure to deceive his victims. In the summer of 1974, Bundy carried out one of his most chilling acts. On July 14th, multiple young women at Lake Washington reported that a man introducing himself as Ted had offered them help. That day, two women, Janice Ott and Denise Naslund, vanished forever. Months later, their remains were discovered in a wooded area. A bloody journey. By the end of 1974, Bundy moved to Utah and continued his murders there. A young woman named Carol DeRanche narrowly escaped his grasp. Bundy, posing as a police officer, attempted to lure her into his car. However, Carol became suspicious at the last moment and managed to flee. Her testimony would later play a crucial role in Bundy's capture. Night of Madness. In January 1978, Bundy committed one of the most horrific attacks in history at the Chi Omega sorority house in Florida. That night, he assaulted 5 young women. He killed 2 and severely injured 3 others. One of the survivors, despite being shot and brutally beaten, managed to survive. Shortly after this attack, Bundy was captured by Florida police. As Bundy's confidence grew, his murders became even more brutal. Women in Colorado, Idaho, and Utah fell victim to him. Most of his victims shared similar characteristics. They were usually tall, had long brown hair, and fair skin. These women resembled Bundy's ex-girlfriend, a chilling reflection of his psychological obsession. On January 24, 1989, Ted Bundy was executed in the electric chair. His final words were, "Give my love to my family and friends." Yet, the fear and pain he left behind would never be erased. Final stop, the road to execution. With Bundy's arrest, one of America's most terrifying serial killers was finally brought to justice. During his trials, he attempted to defend himself, using his intelligence and charm to manipulate people. However, the evidence against him was overwhelming. The court sentenced him to death 3 times. The legacy of a monster. Ted Bundy was not just a serial killer. He was one of history's most terrifying minds. His cold-blooded nature, intelligence, and ability to manipulate set him apart from others. To this day, many psychologists and criminologists continue to study his mind. But the most important question remains, is there another like him? Or is he already walking among us? For more videos, don't forget to follow and share Crime and Crime.